Have you ever wondered if the stock market is truly a good investment? If you put your hard-earned money into stocks, what kind of return can you really expect? Is it a guaranteed path to riches or a risky gamble? And how much does that return fluctuate year to year? These are some of the most fundamental questions for anyone considering investing in the stock market. We hear about incredible gains, and we hear about devastating crashes. But what about the average? What does the long-term historical data tell us about the typical rate of return? And more importantly, what does that average actually mean for your money? Understanding the average rate of return of the stock market isn't just about reciting a number. It's about grasping the underlying principles of investing, recognizing the power of compounding, preparing for inevitable market fluctuations, and setting realistic expectations for your financial future. It's about knowing what you're getting into, not just hoping for the best. So, let's dive deep into one of the most talked about, yet often misunderstood, aspects of personal finance, the average rate of return of the stock market. We'll explore the historical data, analyze what contributes to these returns, discuss the impact of inflation, and equip you with the knowledge to approach your investments with confidence. The elusive average, what the data says. When most people talk about the average stock market return, they're typically referring to the performance of broad market indices, most notably the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a market capitalization weighted index of 500 of the largest publicly traded companies in the United States, representing a significant portion of the U.S. stock market's value. It's often used as a benchmark for the overall health and performance of the U.S. economy. Historically, since its inception in 1957, the S&P 500 has delivered an average annual return of approximately 10% to 11%. If we look even further back, to 1928, the average annual return for the S&P 500 is around 9.96%. This figure includes both stock price appreciation and reinvested dividends. Now, before you get too excited, let's inject a crucial dose of reality. This average is a statistical measure over a very long period. It doesn't mean you'll get 10% every single year. Far from it. Stock market returns are anything but consistent. In fact, between 1926 and 2024, returns for the S&P 500 fell within the average band of 8% to 12% only 8 times. The vast majority of the time, annual returns were either significantly higher or significantly lower. Consider the last decade. The S&P 500 has returned an average of 12.2% annually over the past 10 years, and even higher, around 12.8% annually, when looking at the last full decade of data up to early June 2025. This includes some spectacular years. For instance, the S&P 500 saw a nearly 30% return in 2020 and 2022, and 24% in 2024. But it also includes years like 2023, which saw a 20.3% loss, and 2022, which also saw significant volatility. And it's not just the S&P 500. Other major indices tell similar stories with their own nuances. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, which tracks 30 large U.S. companies, has shown an average return of approximately 8.7% from its inception in 1897 through early 2022. More recently, over the last 10 years, it has delivered around 11.3% annually. The Nasdaq Composite, heavily weighted towards technology and growth stocks, has often outperformed in recent bull markets, with a staggering 15.2% average annual return over the last decade. The key takeaway here is that while the long-term average is a powerful indicator of wealth creation, the journey to that average is rarely a smooth line. It's a roller coaster with exhilarating highs and stomach-dropping lows. The silent killer, the impact of inflation. Here's where the average gets even more interesting and often more sobering. That 10% or 11% average annual return for the S&P 500 is what we call a nominal return. It's the raw percentage gain. But what truly matters for your purchasing power is the real return, which is the nominal return adjusted for inflation. Inflation is the rate at which the general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and subsequently, purchasing power is falling. If your investments are growing at 10% a year, but inflation is 3%, your real return is only 7%. Since 2000, the average rate of inflation in the U.S. has been roughly 2.3%. When you factor this in, the real average annual return of the S&P 500 over the long term drops to around 6% to 7%. This distinction is critically important. A 10% nominal return sounds fantastic, but if inflation is high, your money might not be growing as much in terms of what it can actually buy. Imagine you earned 10% on your investment, but the cost of living went up by 8%. You're only really 2% better off. Inflation affects stocks in several ways. During periods of high inflation, companies face higher input costs, which can squeeze profit margins. Consumers also have less purchasing power, which can impact sales. This uncertainty can lead to increased market volatility and investor apprehension. While some businesses can successfully pass on higher costs to consumers, others struggle. Historically, value stocks, companies trading at a lower price relative to their fundamentals, have tended to perform better in high inflation environments compared to growth stocks, companies expected to grow earnings faster than the overall market. This is because value stocks often represent more mature companies with established pricing power, while growth stocks rely heavily on future earnings, which are discounted more heavily in inflationary periods due to higher interest rates. Ultimately, moderate to low inflation, around 2 to 3%, is generally considered healthy for economic growth and stability, encouraging investor confidence. However, when inflation surges above this range, it can create significant headwinds for stock market returns, eating away at your real wealth. The power of compounding, why the average matters in the long run. Despite the volatility and the impact of inflation, the long-term average return of the stock market is a powerful force, thanks to the magic of compounding. Compounding is essentially earning returns on your initial investment and on the accumulated returns from previous periods. It's like a snowball rolling downhill, gathering more snow and momentum as it goes. Factors influencing stock market returns. The average isn't a static force, it's the outcome of a complex interplay of various economic, political, and social factors. Understanding these influences helps demystify market movements and provides a broader perspective on returns. Economic growth. Interest rates. Corporate earnings and profitability. Technological innovation. Geopolitical events and stability. Investor sentiment and psychology. Demographics. These factors are constantly in flux, contributing to the year-to-year volatility that makes the stock market so unpredictable in the short term, yet so rewarding in the long term. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.